I'm Simcha Leiner. I'm here with Motty Berkowitz, and we are going to take you behind the scenes of my latest music video, Shuvi. I had an idea for this Shuvi music video, which we were going to take a bunch of different clips that were lined up side by side, do some really cool stuff with it. I called Motty really late at night. He was somewhere very loud. And he's like, maybe we'll talk about it a little bit a different time, talk about it later. I said, give me 30 seconds, let me pitch it. About 45 minutes later, we had this production underway. Let's get this thing going. Let's get this thing started. 5 o'clock in the morning was when this day started. By 7 o'clock in the morning, the restaurant was unlocked for us. As you've seen in the video, this is a beautiful space. A lot of different areas in the restaurant that need to be worked with and worked on. But ultimately, this is a functioning restaurant. This is not a set. We couldn't shut it down for 3 days to plan for this. So we had stations set up in rooms where we can basically pull out all the equipment as soon as the dinner service finished to set up the next spot. It's just a matter of having everyone on the same schedule, everyone on the same team.
A couple days before, I went down to kind of take pictures of all the areas, of all the the kitchen area and the dining area and the roof. And then there was a lot of going over the parts. Shua Sorscher played the main actor. Funny story actually, when I wrote the script, I was like, hey, what am I gonna name this guy, this chef? I need a name. I had no idea who was gonna be acting. I was like, let me call him Josh. Call him Josh, and then Shua took the part. So you see how
amazing.
It's crazy.
This whole thing with Menashe. What we try to do with music videos in particular is not give too much of a detailed storyline, so that way people can interpret it as they wish. The song Shuvi the lyrics are pretty deep. It's ultimately wanting to get close to Hashem, and this storyline could be interpreted any which way that you find a way of adapting it to your own life. But there's different levels. There's the upstairs and the downstairs of the restaurant. There's the upstairs and the downstairs of our lives. There's a way to get closer. There's a yearning, like you're missing something. The storyline follows that Shua is a chef in the kitchen, but he's always yearning to do what he really loves to do. And he didn't have the opportunity. He dreams about doing it. And as the video progresses, if you haven't seen it, by the way, just stop this behind the scenes. Just stop. Just go watch the video. We'll wait.
Like now.
We'll wait.
Yeah, watch out.
Yeah, what do you think about it? Yeah.
So the video starts off with a crazy FPV drone shot, which we got. I wanted it to start off with a bang. This shot actually, we got it a little bit before the video started, before we actually the day of filming in the city, because this is a much more complicated thing to do. But I wanted to start with a bang and just kind of flies through the city, and then it just kind of takes a pause, and you see Simcha and Shua in the alleyway on a split screen. Again, Simcha's side is kind of a little more colored, a little more
optimistic,
a little more optimistic, a little more cool, and Shua's side's a little more a little more darker, he's not in the best of places. You see kind of Simcha walking to his place and Shua walking to his place, and then it kind of starts Shua's part of the story.
Right. Our days are basically taking place at the same time, parallel, different situations, but at the same time. Shua's starts his day-to-day boring job in the kitchen, and you see him getting lost in the music, really wanting to do what he always dreamed of doing, which was being a musician.
Being a drummer, yeah.
Or being closer to Hashem.
When I wanted to show Shua kind of getting into his imagination, kind of like he's not here, but I want you to almost feel now all the staff is dancing and all the waiters are suddenly cutting everything on beat and everything. But I want you to almost feel that's actually happening. So what we did was we kind of had we had Shua kind of just he puts on his music, and kind of the music is the thing that kind of gets him going and gets him into his fantasy world. And we had all the whole lighting crew we had the whole kitchen lit up, and then the whole kind of thing slowly dim. We zoom with his face, and then the whole kitchen goes bonkers. All the waiters are cutting on beat and washing dishes and twirling pots and doing everything on beat. and then it gets even more intense. Once like the chorus comes in again, that's when you see suddenly there's a whole dance sequence going on, and Shua's on his drums. And then we did the shot where he kind of comes back to life, where the camera spins around when he comes back. He has his pots and pans. He just spilled all the onions on the floor, and the other chefs aren't happy. And then he turns around and sees you, or does he?
Maybe. Depends.
We still don't know.
Right. I may still be there.
We wouldn't even know.
It did feel like that at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We should have just like printed out a big cutout of me and left me in the corner.
Yeah. So we wanted to kind of feel like as if like we want kind of you to decide like how real is it, how fake is it, because it is something he really wants. And when he turned around and he kind of saw Simcha, almost like the thing that was part of his imagination, the drumming, like he felt like it was all connected to it, but he wasn't sure if like he saw right what was going on, and no one else really saw him, and he goes out to chase him. Yeah. This scene was a big scene.
בשחקים, ימחר פשוטה, לקבל שווים, אהבה, לא יחבו על מים רבים, ואני איתך, אני מרגיש אהבה, כי אתה עימדי, לטובתי, עושה הכל בשבילי.
So you see Shua running around and he bangs into people and the wine and everyone's looking at him like what's he doing? And then I was like we need someone to kind of storm out and be like, yo, what's going on? So my original idea I was gonna use one of the extras we had that way I was sitting at the restaurant, but I saw the actual head chef. He was already there at the time starting to cook for later. And I was like, would you want to play this part? He's like, I don't know. I was like, he's like, what do I have to do?
Mind you, the head chef of Wall Street Grill is no stranger to cameras. He was like a Top Chef finalist. Like he's been all around the world featured on shows and
But he is the nicest guy though. I told him, I was like, you have to get mad. He's like, no, I don't know. I'm like, I'm not. He's like, he's a really, really nice guy. I was like, come on, do it for the views, you know? And he nailed it. He storms out. I did it for all those camera gigs I did. We did it like kind of handheld, so like you kind of feel as he's like super mad. He, like,
agitation.
Yeah, he like runs out and he comes over and he storms over to Shua and he starts yelling at him. And then it cuts to the scene where you see the head chef still kind of angry. He's like fighting his hand, but kind of Shua kind of completely lost focus on him and just looks past and sees Simcha in the corner, just telling him to like get back into it. Like, you know, who cares about your head chef?
Focus on what you're after.
Just
look.
we had a lot of funny takes of those.
Fire him.
Oh yeah.
You need like feet, no?
People don't realize the amount of, work that goes into every time you see on a video that it cuts to another take, to another clip. That was someone restarting the clip, restarting everything. So when you see these videos that have these long clips, these 20, 30-second clips, those are a lot easier to pull off than when you're cutting, and keeping up that attention and action.
Like just the dining room scene alone, that probably took like 2.5 hours to film, and we have to go through take after take in different styles. Right when Shua runs out, like how we're feeling it, like when does he bang in? We don't there's a lot of like details that go into it. You don't want it to feel like overkill because you're filming a story. You want it to feel as much real as possible. You don't want it to bang into 30,000 people and people get up and start yelling at it like. It's like in a real life, if something would happen, which is probably something not that far off. Someone acting crazy in a restaurant, he would look at him like, no, like we have to get that right now, so we have to film it many times over, many times. And there were funny times. Also, we're dealing with like 30 people sitting there, so then one person decides that his phone should ring, or one person decides to laugh, or one person.
Exactly. As the story progresses, you see my performance start to really intensify, and you notice that I'm missing a drummer. Bashert, I'm missing a drummer. I'm missing one of the most important parts of my band. And that's really where the video comes together, is that he's chasing his dreams and the dreams are waiting there for him.
Like the concept of like the flashing lights and everything, that whole like light effect, I saw it in something like recently, and like you always see these dance sequences in videos, you always see a lot of this type of thing, but the reason why this was different is because this wasn't really real. But when you see the dances and you see Shua drumming, this wasn't real. I was trying to figure out how do we make it feel like it's not really there, or maybe it's here. So you had all the lights flashing. We probably all basically almost died from that. Do you remember the star acrobat you had in the video?
Yeah, that's right. If you slow it down, the video, and look at
if you pause it at the right millisecond,
you'll find the hidden dancer.
Yeah.
You should demonstrate what the guy did, though. No?
I'm not sure. I don't know if he could come today.
Okay.
Yeah. And the roof scenes were a ton of fun. That was also, they had this Wall Street Grill. By the way, go there if you're hungry. They have this kind of like the roof area, the whole like side comes up. So we had this gorgeous view in the background of like the city.
Minor detail, the office building across the street has another building next door to it that people live in. So if you're shooting a music video at midnight, blasting live music, you're gonna upset some of the neighbors.
Yeah, this is actually crazy. Let's say we filmed on the roof for let's say an hour, like two and a half hours, right? We did the performance scenes. Then afterwards, we went back to the scene where Shua was kind of having his electric guitar debut on the stairs.
Staircase.
Yeah. So we did the performance, which had like blasting music, and then like right when we did the stairs, and then like him running, and literally like right when we wrapped, the cops came upstairs. And they're like, yeah, we're getting noise complaints. We're like, oh no, we were just doing this for like a few. No, it's over. It's way over.
It's completely done.
Completely done. So
whether we liked it or not, we finished the video
time.
at the perfect time. Thanks so much for watching our behind the scenes of the Shuvi video. Go follow Motty Berkowitz on Instagram and his YouTube channel. Go follow me on Instagram. If you're still on Facebook, close that account and just go follow me on Instagram. Can't wait to send you.
And watch Shuvi. Watch the music. If you didn't watch the music video right now, go there.
We waited for them to watch it already.
Oh.
He definitely watched it.
Bye, guys.